Welcome back to the Movies and Stuff show. We're talking time travel this week, specifically the top 10 worst time travel movies. My approach was very simple. The movie could be really good, but if the time travel sucks, it's on my list. And I'm going to start with my number 5. And the irony of it is that the movie that contains time travel is actually the best in the series. So Alfonso Cuarón's Prisoner of Azkaban, it's successfully uses time travel in a way that not only makes sense, but is really effective to resolving the story. And the problem I have with this, though, is once you introduce this time travel, and that's the only time that you introduce time travel in this whole series, that's a problem, because shouldn't time travel be used to stop Voldemort? Why doesn't Voldemort use time travel to his advantage? You introduced it into the story, and you made that mistake because now you have to think of the consequences of it. And it wasn't done here, in my opinion. And I know that they explain the rules of time travel in Prisoner of Azkaban. Doesn't matter. You've introduced time travel. Voldemort's the most powerful wizard ever. He would know how to use time travel.
Yeah, I would sure think so. Do you remember the rules at all? I'm a little fuzzy on how the rules work in Harry Potter. Couldn't just Hermione go back a little bit and save Dumbledore from getting killed? Things like that? Or no?
You know, wouldn't she be able to? Like, that's my whole thing. Because they were able to all go back together. Like, there was multiple of them that went back.
That's
because
right,
that was the whole thing, is they saw themselves.
Yeah.
And when Harry, thought that he saw his father doing the fucking blah, 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 to get the Dementors away, it was actually him,
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember that. The stag. Yeah.
Yeah. His Patronus. And it's sad that I remember that.
You like Patron, though. That's why you...
Yes, I did. We
don't have to get in that, then.
No. But no, so again, very, very great movie, Prisoner of Azkaban. The best in the series. Really great time travel in the movie itself. Time travel, not thought. So my selection is the Harry Potter series. It's not Prisoner of Azkaban. It's the Harry Potter series. Is that a cop-out? Fine. But my number 5 is the Harry Potter series.
I gotcha. Yeah, no, it makes sense. That's the problem with some of the time travel in a series of movies. Once you introduce it, you kind of have to think it through. Yeah, you have to always acknowledge that it's there, especially when it's just a little like charm that spins around and sends you back in time. All right, my number 5. I picked this I guess I picked it for the same reason you did. My number 5 is Napoleon Dynamite. I'm picking this because this is the worst damn time machine ever invented. It's just some torture device some asshole made to shock you in the nuts. I mean, that's just... But then I started to wonder, like, okay, what if the time machine actually did work? That would explain, like, this world Jared Hess has created that's kind of like 80s and 90s, maybe even a little bit of 70s, all kind of homogenized together.
No, that's just Utah.
Oh, it's just Utah.
Yeah, okay. I would have also accepted Canada as well.
Oh!
Just saying.
Okay.
Just saying.
But that's why I picked it. It's the worst time travel device I've ever seen in a movie. It's torture.
Shocks you in the nuts.
That's it. That's his purpose.
I've never seen Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah, you said that. I was kind of surprised.
I've seen parts of it. Maybe I've seen the whole thing in sections, but I've never seen it completely straight through. The only Hess movie that I think I've seen straight through would be Gentlemen Broncos.
We are well aware of that, yes.
Which I enjoyed.
Yeah, I know you did.
Maybe there's an episode on it.
Yeah, maybe so.
Maybe we talked about it.
We'll put the link right
over here, over this face again.
Oh, there you go. Right, yeah.
My number 4.
Number 4.
Should be no surprise here, because this was the kind of image that we used while promoting the show, is Looper. And Looper is a good movie. I know that you haven't seen it.
No, I've not seen it.
It's not a great movie, but it's not bad. And it has a lot of time travel issues in it. Since you haven't seen it, I don't want to get too technical here. But my issue with the film is that things that happen while both Bruce Willis's character, his older self as Joe and his younger self, they interact. Well, the consequences of those actions would have already had an impact on Bruce Willis and thus kind of be inconsequential. For example, Joe carves a name into his arm. So old Joe knows where he can be found. Oh. The problem is that young Joe would have had always done this. So old Joe would have always had the name on the arm. You know? Like, wouldn't he have just
been, I see, yeah.
He would have known he carved this name into his arm. So he would have known that he's this stuff already happened to young Joe.
Right.
He would have remembered killing old Joe, for that matter. Or my brain hurts trying to explain it. And that's my problem when it comes to bad time travel. If you have a hard time grasping and understanding it, I don't think time travel is successful. Looper, good movie, some good action. Overall, really, really fun. Time travel doesn't work. But you see what I'm saying without seeing the movie.
Yeah.
The plot is they send people back in time to be killed by someone in the past.
Mm-hmm. I remember that from the trailer. Yeah.
Right.
And it makes sense. If you've done this from the moment you did this on your arm, it would have affected all the future incarnations of yourself.
Yep.
Unless there's time offshoots and things like that. Star Trek 2009.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't sound very good. I don't know if I'll ever watch it now since you ruined it for me, but.
Not really. I didn't really ruin it. No spoiler.
Oh, that's not a spoiler?
He carved something in his arm.
Oh, okay.
That's a spoiler?
I don't know. I haven't seen it. I don't know if it's a spoiler.
Watch it.
Okay.
You should watch it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. All right, moving on. My number 4, Interstellar.
I haven't seen it.
Go ahead,
spoil it. I don't.
Okay. Okay. I don't know where to begin on this. I think it's an interesting movie for a while, and then it slowly just kind of collapses under its own weight, much like a star would, and turning into a black hole. No, but I have a real problem with this. I feel like this is probably the worst wannabe 2001 I've ever seen. Maybe even Contact and Interstellar are like neck and neck for the worst 2001.
Contact. You're knocking Contact. I love Contact.
We can talk about it someday. The reason this sucks is because a black hole quite literally leads to a little girl's bedroom where Matthew McConaughey will push books off the shelf in Morse code to communicate with her. That's the spoiler of Interstellar.
Wow.
Yep. And people will say, oh, well, you don't understand how, scientifically accurate it is. That's the beauty of it. Oh, no, I get it. It's very clever. Hey, Nolan, how's that working for you? Being clever?
Pretty clever. Pretty well, actually. He's probably very rich.
Oh, he's probably very rich. But
you know how he sleeps at night?
Yeah, crying on a pile of money.
With many naked women on top of a giant pot of money.
But the backlash is coming, and it's building. The fan backlash against him is coming, and it's building. People are now going back and talking shit on The Dark Knight because they're reviewing it under I'm going to throw 15 pounds of shit or 20 pounds of shit in a 15-pound bag. He's just overstuffing his movies, and they're starting to suffer. Interstellar really didn't need the whole Matt Damon trying to kill Matthew McConaughey and steal the ship. They just threw that in there anyway.
Wait, is that The Martian you're talking about?
Yeah.
I'm confused.
No, it's another Matt Damon stranded on a different planet.
Oh, okay.
We gotta go save him. And they never told him at once, oh no, we don't have enough room to take you. He just decided, oh, they're just not gonna take me? What?
Can I just say that Matt Damon's kind of a fucking dick? Because, did they have to save him in Private Ryan as well?
Yeah.
Why is he always being saved? Why is he always putting people's lives in danger for being saved? What an asshole.
He is.
Before we go on to my number 3, let's head over to Facebook. I'm going to head over to Facebook, read some comments from our Facebook page. Let's see. We got Tim Ahonen. We know Tim, right? You know Tim.
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 Oh, Tim. Yeah.
Tim.
I know Tim intimately, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Escape from the Planet of the Apes was tapped out budget-wise, and the time travel made no sense whatsoever. The 2002 Time Machine remake, which started well but lost me when Papa Smurf Jeremy Irons showed up. Any Terminator film greater than 2, he says. Greater than 2. He's putting on this list. He asks if Jumanji is a time travel movie.
No. I respond to that. It's a multiverse movie.
It's a verse movie. Okay.
Yeah.
Jim Geiger disagrees with me on Looper. He thought Looper was awesome. I didn't say Looper wasn't awesome. I just said the time travel doesn't work. We got Jack Random. We know Jack.
Oh, yes.
Jack, buddy of the show. He was going to say Transcendence, but he actually liked it.
Jack. I know you're out there, Jack. I know you're you're chatting on the YouTube channel right now. You suck.
And Jesse Sweeney says there are so many bad movies of time travel, though this is definitely on the top of his list, and it's Van Damme's Time Cop.
Ooh.
So that's just a little bit from our Facebook feed. People keep posting. I'll keep checking throughout the show. If you got anything else to add, we'll mention it on the show. Let's move to my number 3, which would be that movie, Superman. Superman's a time travel movie? No, it's not. And it shouldn't be, but it is. No, that made no sense whatsoever. Superman is a great film. It is arguably the best. You think it's the best superhero film ever made, right?
Ever made. Yep. It's the best one ever made.
And we had this discussion already in
Yes,
our
we
Batman
did.
Begins episode.
Yes, we did.
So let's not rehash that. But I will continue to crap on the ending of this movie.
Because you don't like the fact he traveled back in time.
It's not just that he traveled back in time to save Lois Lane. He flies around the Earth so fast that he goes back in time, right?
Yes.
So wouldn't there be 2 Supermen?
Yes,
that would collide at some point?
Yes, there would be 2 Supermen existing at that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
How's
that make sense?
Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't. Maybe we can invite Brian Greene on, the physicist, to tell us, but it doesn't make sense to my little brain.
You know, it's one of those things. It's just like great movie, kind of crap the ending. I think. You don't have issues with the ending?
No, I really don't.
Really?
I really don't. When I was a kid, I saw it and I thought that was just so cool. He just goes so fast. He doesn't reverse the planet's spin. He goes so fast. He travels back in time. I can deal with that. But again, once you introduce that idea, it's always like
he always doing it.
Seinfeld joked about that when he and Superman were on that road trip in those commercials, and they locked the keys in the car, and Superman's like, "You want me to fly around the Earth?" And no more flying around the Earth. But I agree, it's a bad idea. But I still liked it in the movie.
Yeah. All right, you're number 3.
My number 3. Let's see what it is. I forgot. Oh shit!
Oh, I didn't forget that one.
Oh my god.
I knew that one.
It's bad. This is so bad.
It really is. Yeah.
Yeah. Why?
It's not the first time Star Trek attempted time travel.
Oh no,
it wasn't the last.
Oh no, not at all.
But it was the worst.
This is the worst. This is hands down the worst.
This didn't even have whales in it, and it was the worst.
No, it didn't have.
It didn't have Scotty trading essentially critical information for the future to get a whale tank.
That's right.
It didn't have that, and this is still the worst.
We didn't know. He could have been the guy that invented it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. I mean, there were so many times that Picard could have stopped Soren at any point. He could have if he can choose any point to go back in time to, he could have stopped Soren at any point. I don't know why he decided they have to go back right to that moment with Kirk and fist fight him. An obese, retired Kirk and Picard decide to fist fight Malcolm McDowell.
The worst is how'd they win? I mean, this dude was
Malcolm McDowell was in shape compared to them.
He was in shape, and I mean, he was used to beating up bums with sticks.
Yes, he was. That's right. But no, I know that they probably had a whole bunch of rules they had to follow. Like, you got to give Kirk a fist fight at the end. Kirk's got to die. I mean, it's just, Why not fight Soren in the Nexus itself? They all three get sucked in, and they're bouncing around from each other's paradise, each other's bliss. You know, they're just kind of bouncing around each other's and fight. I don't know. There's so many ways to do it.
I like that they got a mulligan though with First Contact to get the time travel right. I liked that they were giving a second chance to get time travel right. You know?
Yeah.
Like after it didn't work in Generations, and there's so much backlash, you got a chance to just get the time travel right. I mean, we did a whole episode on First Contact. We talked to the guy that wrote First Contact, and I think that's the way that you do time travel, and that if I was probably to do like a top 10 time travel movies, I think First Contact would be up there. Works really well.
It does work really well. Part of the reasons these movies don't work, for whatever reason, like Generations just doesn't make sense, you didn't like the Harry Potter, is when you stop and think about it. A movie that's clicking, that's really working, is you're not going to stop and think about it. You're just going to get sucked in and just enjoy the ride.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Good time travel, you don't have to overthink it.
No.
So, overthinking time travel, my number 2.
Oh, yeah.
I don't get it. Another one that has these cause and effect issues that I just can't forgive. Old Biff uses the time machine in 2015 to go back in time and give young Biff the sports almanac. And this changes 1985 to be a completely different world altogether. Mm-hmm. So wouldn't it also change the 2015 that old Biff returns to?
No, right. Of course it would. Yeah.
If you want to almost go, it's more alternate dimension or alternate future. I don't know. He still would not have returned to that 2015. Right. He would have returned. He would have went to 2015, and that it would have been completely different.
Yeah. He should have just blown the damn thing up or taken it just
probably.
Yeah, he should have just taken off. If you bringing it back is only going to ruin your plan.
But you know what I'm saying? Isn't that weird? Like if his plan works, then if he's returning to 2015, he'd be like, a god of some sort. Like he'd be super rich. I don't know. It was a fun movie. It's fun, and I like the callback to the unnecessary callback to 1955. But it was fun. I liked how they jumped around a lot.
That I have not read the whole thing. I've only read part of it, but that first script they did was really strange. He goes back to the 60s, and there's hippies, and Marty gets arrested for not having a driver's license on him. I mean, this is better than that. I gotta say, the first idea was not good.
Yeah, I first one I think still has issues with time travel, but you don't overthink them. Mm-hmm. This one you overthink them. Yeah. And 3 is just fun. 3 is just a fun movie. I mean, they're all fun movies. 3 is just really fun. But 3 is just silly. And I like it.
I got you.
1, time travel issues? Absolutely. You forget about them. You don't even realize
Right.
This one has ones that just kind of stick out like a sore thumb. So that's my number 2. Your number 2.
My number 2. Oh, my God. I hated this movie. Terminator Genesis, baby.
Well, see, that was one that Tim said, right? Any Terminator after Terminator 2.
Wow, so. He's right. Like, as the further away you get from 2, the worse they got, I think. And this is just horrible. The time travel sucked. I mean, everything about this movie sucked. It was convoluted. Khaleesi can't act. I mean, okay, there's so much time travel in this movie. There's a Terminator sent back to the 70s to kill her, but it doesn't, and we still don't know who sent that. Then they go back to, was it 84, 85? The first Terminator, 84? Yeah. And then they decide to jump forward to 2017, 2016 to stop the phone app from being released. I mean, and time travel itself will actually show you key plot points as you're moving through time. There's nothing good about this movie. I don't know what movie James Cameron saw, but it wasn't this one.
You would think that with all of the effort of sending Terminators back in time to kill Sarah Connor or kill John Connor, that they would just focus in on killing John Connor in the future. Like, honestly, just kill him in the future.
Right.
Just fight that battle. Just do that. Just win. Yeah, it makes no sense. In fact, let's just go to my number one, because we're talking about
we got to tie these together.
We're talking about things that don't make sense. And my number one is the Terminator.
I can't get behind this. I don't think I can get behind this at all.
It's a great film.
Yeah.
And I'm not disputing that for a moment. But here is where time travel just confuses the shit out of me. The robots send a Terminator back to kill Resistance leader John Connor's mother.
Yes.
Before he is born.
Mm-hmm.
What does John Connor do?
He sends back his dad.
Tell me how that logically works then. He sends Kyle Reese back in time to prevent it. Kyle falls in love with Sarah Connor, that impregnates her with John.
Yeah.
So if John in the future doesn't do this, then he's not born and can never, in the future, send his father back in time to help create him.
Right.
What am I missing?
You're not missing anything. That's just how that's how it works, man.
And that's not bizarre to you? Like, that's not weird, convoluted time travel for you? It's a great fucking movie. Terminator's a great fucking movie. I'm a Terminator 2 fan myself. I put Terminator 2 as my favorite of the series. But Terminator's a great fucking movie. Time travel of it, don't think it was thought through completely.
Oh, I don't know. I like the idea. I like the future causes the past. Even though the future hasn't happened yet, it still has to happen that way. I like it. I do like this one. I can't talk shit on the Terminator. We need to get a physicist on to talk about this.
I guess so. But again, it's one of those things that makes your brain hurt. And if the time travel makes my brain hurt, call me an asshole, call me an idiot. But it didn't work. You're number one, Abraham.
Alrighty. My number one is Primer.
Ooh, wow.
I gotta say this. First of all, I want to say this. Upstream Colors, one of my favorite movies of the 21st century. With that being said, Primer sucks. Primer just, blows. Shane Carruth takes this really crazy concept and plot and then takes them and shows them in perhaps the most uninteresting and maybe the worst way you possibly could. Like, there's no characters in this movie, just a couple guys talking. And they seem to like skip key events that would actually help you understand what happened at the party or something. The gun. I don't quite remember anymore. The only reason people go back to this movie is because they want to kind of figure out the plot. It's not because they like it. I dare say that nobody likes this movie as a movie. They like it as a puzzle, and that's it. This is a Rubik's Cube. It's not a film.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It's clever, but it also is its own worst enemy.
Yeah.
I didn't dig it at all.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that I think it's split. I think there's a lot of people that are split on this movie. I know that a lot of people hold it into very high esteem, especially as a time travel movie, but I've also seen people that trash the time travel elements of it as well.
I think it probably does make sense once you put it together. What it does do is completely fail as a movie. There's no likable characters or memorable characters. I mean, it's not particularly shot well. It's not scored well. I mean, it's a puzzle, and that's all there is to it. That's my opinion. It's the worst time travel movie ever.
Well, you know what we want? We want to know your opinions in the comment section below. Let us know what you thought about our picks. I'm completely fine about being attacked for Terminator. Go ahead. But let us know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you for everyone that commented on Facebook. Make sure we do the show live every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. So hang out on Facebook, hang out here, and just give us your comments so we can read them on the air and interact with you. Wonderful people. I guess that will do it for another episode of the Movies and Stuff show. Check back again next week. As I mentioned, next Tuesday, 9 p.m., we will discuss Robert Altman, his movie, military comedy classic MASH. Not to be confused with the TV show MASH. We're talking about the movie MASH.
The movie MASH, yeah.
We're going to have a special guest interview.
Who's coming on?
Actress Sally Kellerman.
Oh, yeah.
Hot Lips herself is going to be chatting with us about MASH. She's going to talk about a bunch of cool stuff, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
I like Sally Kellerman. I think really fun actress. Back to school. Great in Back to School. I'll ask her a back to school question. I promise. I'm going to talk back to school with her.
Okay.
All right. As always, make sure to like this video, comment below, subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, all of that jazz. Abe, final words.
You are getting ripped in the chat already about Back to the Future.
No, really?
Jamila's all over you, man.
Oh, man.
Yep.
I can't wait to see it.
All right.
Later.